What's up everyone, it's Bones here. In today's video, I'll be covering one of many non-competitive decks that I'll probably be showcasing throughout the format along with some short combo videos. And this first one was actually at a commenter's request who want to see an updated Phantom Knights tier list. Because we've gotten some new cards to the card pool that allow this deck to do different things while also being hurt by different things like Bestial, I'll just be showing a combo in which it's going to be a quote-unquote god scenario in order to show all the nuances so that you can take the steps in building on this deck on your own. But anyways, before I begin, if you happen to enjoy content like this, clicking on those thumbs up and subscribe buttons would be greatly appreciated, as it goes a long way in supporting the channel and shows me that you like content like this. So to begin, I'm going to start by activating the Sharon, and if you're breaking boards or whatever, you obviously want to use the Sharon as it doesn't take up your normal summon. You just reveal it. No harm done by doing that, and you'll see that we're gonna mill 2 names and a Phantom Knight, and I'm gonna use both names to fuse, as I'm going to go into a Kit Kalos along with a Mud Dragon, and the Mud Dragon has a few implications here besides being a level 4, as you'll see momentarily, in which we're going to use the Kit Kalos effect, search a Solic, and from there we can normal summon the scales. There are lines in which you can summon a Roll Kalos instead of searching the Solic, but because I'm doing a full-on combo to show how the deck plays, I'm going to take this route. So we're going to use the Scales effect, sending the wings, and now we can use the Cloak effect to search the boots, and from here we can special summon the boots, and this will allow us to go into our Cherubini. Now for cost, we can send Havness, which is a level 3, and this is kind of cool because what it allows us to do is use our Kit Kalos to get Havness on board as a level 3, and now we can mill 5. But from here we also have Phantom Knights traps that can summon a Phantom Knight, and we have Torn Scales in the graveyard. So we have extenders for days here, as we're going to use the Torn Scales, then we're going to go into a Levier. The Levier is an Aqua, and we can special summon back the Cloak here. We're going to link away into Sprint, and from here we're going to use the Sprint to send the Merly, basically replacing Verte for the deck, as we're going to go into our Roll Kalos now, and now we can use the Fogblade to bring back our Scales, and now we can go into a copy of Breaksword using the Havness along with the Torn Scales, and now we're going to use the Mud Dragon to chain into Dark in order to make our Rusty, and through Mud Dragon and Sprint, we're able to replace what Verte did on its own, which is the ability to turn something into Dark to go into your Rusty, while also having the ability to bring you out a boss fusion monster. So from here we're going to use the Gloves effect, and this will get us a sword. If you're going second, then you would have a pop right here, as the Breaksword is in graveyard and we have the open zone for the Rusty. But if you're going first, you're going to use the Rusty effect here, get yourself a Fogblade set, and now we can get the search of another Fogblade, and we'll end on 3 sets here, along with Sprint, the Rusty, and the Lulukaros with the Breaksword in graveyard for the pop and whatever else you have in hand. Onto the deck profile. The funny thing about this deck is how it is one of the few decks that can sort of weather the Ishizu storm, in the sense that Mudora and the Keldo may not have enough targets to get rid of if you mill enough names, assuming they're only using one of them. The trap cards going to the graveyard is also nice in order to combat Keldo and Mudora, along with some of the Bestial cards that we'll be seeing with the Ishizu stuff around, along with the tier things. So for the card by card, you'll see we have 2 copies of Gloves, 2 copies of Cloak, the 3 Scales, the 3 Boots, the 1 Rhino Heart, 3 Sharon, the 3 Havness, the 3 Merly, only 1 Rhino Heart because you don't want to conflict with the normal summoning that you may need. Best case scenario, you're special summoning this off of Kit Kalos. Then we have the 1 Druis Worm, the 2 Magna Huts, the 3 Fenrirs, the 2 Planets, the 2 Screams. You can test around whichever ratios you want for this. And then we have the 1 Soliac, the Wings, the Sword, the 3 Fog Blades, the Instant Fusion, Reinforcement of the Army, Foolish Burial, and Called by the Grave to round out the main deck. Onto the extra deck, we have the Appaloosa, the Nightmare Unicorn, the Rusty, the Cherubini, the Masquerena, the Sprint, the Break Sword, Leviair, the Abyss Dweller, the Redoer, Mud Dragon, Dragos Depelia, Kikalos, Rokalos, and the Kaleido Heart to round out the deck profile. Onto the options, you could play the Nightmare Unicorn and the Curious, as you have enough ways to get into them, but you have to consider that it does take extra deck space from an already tight extra deck. Sprite Elf is another option that can be played as well, being able to special summon back your Merly and get the mills on your opponent's turn. The second Sprint could also come up and be useful, because there may be games where the first one isn't enough and you want to send a second Merly on your opponent's turn if you happen to use the Sprint on your first turn. As you can see, you can also play a Danger package if you would like, as it provides more gas for your turns. It would also help with the Curious and the Griffin lines. Then there's the Triple Tactic Talents, the Cosmic Cyclone, the Lightning Storm, Forbidden Droplet, and Super Poly, and these are just some of the best options that out of the generic pool that you have with Evenly you can use for Phantom Knights, in my opinion. The outs to back row and mine here, being able to play around hand traps or monster effects that you're trying to break a board with, and Forbidden Droplet and Super Poly have just been solid options for Phantom Knights. Eradicator is something that can also be with the Nightmare and Curious package, or you could just play 3 of it in your side, along with the Gozen, though the Gozen might get weaker as a lot of these Ishizu Earth decks can just play it themselves, so that is important to note. But anyways, if you made it this far into today's video, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. It's Bones, signing out.